Welcome back, and I've got a really unusual and counterintuitive but simple experiment to show you today. What we're going to look at is centre of mass and some of the weird properties of objects, knowing something about the physics of how their centre of mass moves when you strike them. So you'll notice that Leica the space dog isn't with us again today. She's off on another one of her world trips, and more of that at the end of the video. So if you've been a regular viewer of this channel, and thank you very much for doing that, you might remember right back to the video that started it all, the very first video on the balancing bird. And that wonderful physics toy did what it did because of the property of its centre of mass. So I'm going to show you another rather unusual experiment today to show you just how important it is to know where the centre of mass of an object is if you're going to work out how it moves when you hit it. And I'm going to hit it with a snooker cue. Okay, so let's have a starter experiment, and this is going to be quite obvious. I've got a ball here, and you know that its centre of mass should be right in the centre of the ball. And I've put a ruler here to show the direction that I want to hit it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the snooker cue, and my snooker's not that good, but there we go. It's exactly what we expect. That I move the snooker cue in this direction, in the direction of the ruler, and the ball went in that direction too. But just have a think about that in a little bit more detail. The ball had a centre of mass that followed the direction that I pushed that centre of mass in. But now what I'm going to do is repeat the experiment with something that's not so obviously round shaped, with something that's a different shape, and hit that with the snooker cue, and I think you'll be surprised about how it moves. So firstly, I'm going to find the centre of mass of the ruler by balancing it on my finger. Okay, not a very accurate experiment, but some of you will say, well, why didn't you go for 50 centimetres? So it's about there. So there's the centre of mass of the ruler. Okay, and I'm going to put that down on the white paper here, and I'm going to draw a line in a second that goes directly towards the bear, and then I'm going to hit the ruler right over here on a line that's parallel to that one. Okay, so here we go. Centre of mass of the ruler, a line directly towards the bear, and I'm going to hit over here, but not towards the bear. I'm going to hit a line parallel to this one. So 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, and you might notice there, it's not totally convincing because there is a little bit of friction, but you'll notice what's interesting is the ruler has twisted, but the centre of mass basically followed this line. So let's discuss that just a little bit further. So isn't this a weird experiment? What you need to know about objects is that when I pushed it here, okay, you need to consider the object as being concentrated on the centre of mass. So even if I apply a force right out at this end, okay, I'm moving the whole object, and the whole object behaves as if it's concentrated at that point. So this is the bit students find really difficult. They worry about the shape of the object, and yes, there is a bit of friction on the table here, but the important thing is if I push the object in this direction, okay, it doesn't matter what the object does, the centre of mass is the bit you need to watch, and it's that will go in the same direction as the vector of the force that you put on the object. And it's kind of quite counterintuitive that. I guess you might have thought that if I hit the ruler here, it would sort of go spinning off and disappear off the side of the table. Okay, but it actually doesn't matter where I hit it along its length. Okay, the ball we hit right on its centre of mass, as long as I push it in a parallel direction anywhere along here, the centre of mass will follow that vector and work its way in the same direction. And I think that's rather counterintuitive. So I hope you enjoyed that video and learnt a little bit more about objects and why it's really important to not worry too much in some circumstances about the shape of an object, but to visualize it as a single point in space that can be a place where we consider that all the mass could be concentrated, the centre of mass. I'll be making another video soon, and I look forward to seeing you then.